Welcome to a new edition of the Neon Jazz Interview Series with a very talented modern-day saxophonist and composer, Mr. Jaleel Shaw. Over the course of a very raw and interesting interview with Mr. Shaw, he talked about his beginnings in jazz when he got his first saxophone at the age of 9, growing up in the city of brotherly love, the way his career has gone up to this point, owning his own record label, and a whole host of other topics over a very interesting 30-minute period. Please dig it. Yeah, Mr. Shaw. Yeah, it's Joe Domino with Neon Jazz.
How you doing?
Hey, good, man. How are you?
I'm good.
Hey, thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate you talking with us here at Neon Jazz. How was your trip to Japan?
It was great. And the one thing that I said is that I think that I wouldn't say Japan loves music more than any other place. For me, it's always different from venue to venue.
Yeah.
And also, the pianist player that I performed with, her name is Yamanaka.
Yeah.
And she's very, very, very popular over there. So, it was basically sold out almost every place that we performed in, and we got a good reception there.
That's great. That's great. So, you were born in the city of brotherly love and John Coltrane. What was it like to grow up in Philadelphia to kind of get you to love jazz?
Well, first off, my mom was really into music, especially jazz. So before I even started playing, she had John Coltrane records and Miles Davis and Ornette Coleman and Yusef Lateef and Sal Sanders. She had records like that in the house. So I heard that, just from being around my mom.
Yeah.
When I started getting into music, there were a lot of great musicians that became mentors to me. Guys like Grover Washington Jr., Byron Lancaster, Don Blake. Honestly, the whole, like anyone that lives in Philly became a mentor to me in some way. Yeah. And I spent a lot of time with musicians, and I could never go to a gig and not, without my horn. I could never go to a gig without my horn in Philadelphia, because if I turned up at a gig without my horn, I would probably be sent home to get it. But they always wanted you to play. They always wanted you to sit in, So it was really a great place, very motivating, very inspiring place to grow up, because I felt like everyone was family. Everyone wanted to do well for the most part. When it came to the musicians, it was really a great environment.
Right on. So, when did you start playing the saxophone, and why did you pick that instrument?
I started playing at the age of 9. I was in 3rd grade, and a guy came to our school, and he played us a video. There's a video that, if you get the Fantasia DVD now, it's at the beginning of the Fantasia video, it's a short animated clip of the history of basically music and musical instruments. And he showed us this short video, and he asked us who wants to play, musical instruments, and I decided I wanted to play. I think I wanted to play drums first, but then, we settled on the saxophone, and unfortunately they didn't have saxophone for the first year, so I guess everyone wanted to play saxophone. They didn't have any more. So I played clarinet, and then I switched to saxophone at 9. But before that, my mom, basically had me taking, music theory classes when I was younger, when I was like 5 and 6, and she also had me take piano lessons and drum lessons and violin lessons. So I did dabble in, other musical instruments. But at 9, I started playing. And I think by maybe 10 or 11, I started playing jazz music.
Right on. So, let me kind of jump forward a little bit here to your latest album, Soundtrack of Things to Come. You've been getting rave reviews on this. How has it kind of felt in the afterglow of this album, promoting and getting such great reviews for it?
It feels good, especially when you do it on your own. I basically have my own label, and it's a lot of hard work. So it's
Absolutely. So you're the owner of Chengu Records, which I would think for any musician to own and run your own label would be the biggest dream in the world. What is it like to own and run your own label?
Well, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of planning. And it's just, I feel like right before I'm going to record, now I almost feel like I'm bracing myself for like almost a shutdown for the whole year. And it's not really a shutdown because it's not like I stopped doing the things that I need to do. I still play other gigs and I still try to focus my band, but a lot of the work is just, making sure the album is mixed right, making sure the album is mastered right, making sure the artwork is right, making sure certain codes go on the CD so that I get my publishing credit if the CD is played online, making sure the album makes it to iTunes and the album is being distributed right, making sure I get I get the right kind of publicity and I'm marketed the right way. These are all these things. It's like this process I have to do every time. So it is a lot of work. The rewarding thing about it is that it's mine at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I know how much I'm making from the day the CD comes out. I know how many people have purchased the CD. Sometimes I know who's purchased the CD, which is great because it allows me to keep in touch with people, that like your music. It's a great thing, and I think nowadays there's, some of the labels are slowing down. Things that are not the way they used to be, and I think it's important to, if you're an artist and you want to get the ball rolling, you can't really rely on a label. You have to, the ball in your court for the most part. And there are labels that are doing things. I can't say that there aren't, because Robert Glasper, a friend of mine, I follow him through the whole process. And, there are other artists that are going through the, sign with Concord or other labels. But I think for the most part, it's really becoming an independent thing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I'm going to jump back a little bit here and just kind of ask you, from the word go, it seems like you've been destined for music. From getting your scholarship to the Berklee College of Music to winning the Monk International Sax Competition, just seems like you've been groomed to be in jazz. Is it just kind of a calling that you've always had? Did you always think that you were going to be at this point in your life?
Well, before I say anything, I just want to make sure it's clear. I didn't win the Monk competition. That was David Blake. I was in it that 2 years. David Blake won. Okay. But I didn't win it. But I do think that from a very early age, I always loved music, before I even started playing the saxophone. And I think within like maybe 1 or 2 years of playing the saxophone, I knew that there was something that I wanted to do for the rest of my life. Yeah. I really jumped into the music game and really at a very early age. I was performing, almost immediately after it, I really started learning how to improvise. I was performing regularly. So it just basically became my career, it became something that was just like, like getting up every day and brushing your teeth, you want to play and, you want to try to continue to grow with the other people and, it was something that I've never really thought about, I guess. Yeah. It just happened. Yeah. I realized I wanted to do it, and I didn't really push hard. It was just something that when you love something so much. Yeah. You have no choice but to do it. Absolutely.
What was going through your mind when you really played your first professional gig?
Well, I don't even remember. But the one thing I do know is that when I was young, I think the next another reason why I continued to play is that I was having a good time. Yeah. I was having a good time. Just like for me, it was like, kids going out and playing basketball or playing football with friends. get nervous, honestly. Sometimes I get nervous when I'm playing in front of my family.
Yeah.
You know. But other than that, I don't ever remember getting nervous even from a kid.
Right on. So, speaking of performing, you performed in the Roy Haynes Quartet. You performed with Tom Harrell, Jason Moran, Roy Hargrove, Chick Corea, Jimmy Cobb, on and on. What is it like to share the stage with luminaries like that?
It's amazing. It's amazing. You know, it's something that I'm thankful for every day. You know, it's funny because yesterday I was just thinking about that. I was just thinking, like, I was reading, I guess USA Today has a feature of Chick Corea, you know, talking about his gadgets and stuff. And I was listening to it, and I was like, man, you know, Chick's a great musician. And I almost forgot I had played with him. And I realized that, man, I've played with Chick Corea. It's pretty amazing. It's a great feeling, and I think the beautiful thing about it is all of these musicians that you named, they really love playing music too.
Yeah.
You know, and I think the beautiful thing that I've seen, you know, I guess when you're younger and you hear about these musicians or you see them playing and stuff, you don't know how they're going to be personally. You know, you don't know how your experience with them is going to be. But, you know, for the most part, my experiences with these great musicians have been very, you know, humbling, and it's been like a kinship. It's never a lot of ego, you know, going around. It's always love of music and just wanting to play.
Absolutely.
So I think that's the beautiful thing about, you know, when you meet someone that you revere as a superstar, and you meet them and they're just, you know, they're everyday people that just love to play music.
Yeah, absolutely. In 2005, your debut album comes out, Perspective. Rave reviews, things start beginning. What was it like to release that first album and get such a great response?
It was great. It was great. I actually, with that record almost didn't come out. Actually,
Interesting.
I went through a lot of things with the record label, and at the last minute, I didn't want to put it out. But I talked to some people, and they're like, just go ahead and put it out. And that was another record that it was just that was a great time. We had a great time in the studio recording, you know, with the band that I was playing with, you know, at the time. Well, the guys that I had known for a while, you know, from different places. Like Noon, play guitar. I went to Berkeley with Robert Black. I met him. He was one of the first people I met when I moved to New York. Jonathan Blake, you know, well known for the kid, and Mark Turner, one of my favorite saxophonists. So for me, just to have that band alone was like a dream, you know, because we all really clicked so well together. I felt like regardless of what we would play, I felt like it would be like an album that would just feel comfortable. It just felt good. And I like bands like that. You get together with people that you really have a great relationship with as friends, you know, and the music just comes out.
Absolutely.
You know,
Right on. So we've talked about who you played with. When you think about the world of music and jazz, who comes to mind that you would really like to play or gig with at some point?
It's crazy because a lot of the musicians that I really wanted to play with are not with us anymore. I think that's I've always dreamed of playing with Smokey Miller.
Yeah.
I wanted to play with Andrew Hill.
Yeah.
But I think of the living musicians, I would like to work with Kenny Barron.
Yeah.
I would like to work with Freddie Hancock. I would like to share the stage with Freddie Rollins.
Yeah.
You know, Keith Jarrett.
Yeah.
There's some Rosewinkle is another one of my favorites. I would like to play with him sometime. But there are other artists outside of the music, outside of I would like to play with as many people as possible, to be honest.
Yeah.
You know, I've had many great musical experiences. You know, and I feel like just leaving myself open to do those things, you know, just creates so many opportunities, you know, to create amazing music, things that you never even thought about.
Yeah. Yeah, without a doubt. You know, you listed off some amazing names there, so this kind of leads into my next question. Who are your heroes?
Who are my heroes? Well, I think my heroes, I'm a kid, I think about the person that probably made me decide that, or made me love the music, or made me really get into the saxophone and composing, Bobby Watson. He was the first person that I heard, and I felt like this is what I want to do. You know, I was a Bobby Watson fanatic, you know, and I still am. I'm a big fan of Bobby Watson. But I'm also, you know, a fan of, you know, because Bobby inspired me to listen to many other musicians. And I was listening to Bobby, I was listening to Cannonball, and he inspired me to go back and listen to Bird more. Who I, you know, I'm still, you know, side. I love Lee Conus.
Yeah.
I love Johnny Hodges.
Yeah.
Wayne Shorter, Train, Bill Allen, Bill Henderson. The more alto players. I mean, you name any alto player, I'm basically, I try to check out every and any alto player.
Yeah.
Learning alto player. You know, if I'm at a festival and I know an alto player is playing somewhere, I'm going to go try to check them out.
Yeah.
You know, actually, I just saw Bill Barker, which was amazing.
Yeah.
I was out with Raymond Carrington and Bill Barker was there. You know, it was just great to hear, you know, it's always great to hear how other people approach their instruments, you know. But yeah, with guys like that, you know, again, I really like what Phil Roseman is doing. I like what Rich Moran's doing and Bradford. And I mean, honestly, I can't say I don't like anything. I always try to listen to as much as I can, you know.
Yeah.
There's a guy named Thunder Cat now that I like. There's Taylor McFerrin who's doing great things.
Yeah.
Bobby McFerrin's son.
So, have you ever played with Bobby Watson?
Yeah, I have.
Right on.
I actually, he brought me out to Kansas. Have I been there a couple times? Well, yeah, I have. I was actually out in Kansas this year at Kansas U, performing with their band, the big band.
Cool.
And I went out to UMKC to the clinic and played with Bobby. You know.
Yeah.
So
So, speaking of Bobby, you know, he's a legend here in Kansas City and in the world of jazz. You know, as a teacher, you know, you playing with bands, you're at a point now where you're a teacher. What do you try to teach those that play with you? What do you want them to take away from an experience of playing with you?
I think just to be open to many styles of music and many eras of music. I think today sometimes you see people that are, I don't want to say that they're stuck, because if they love doing what they're doing, then that's great. I wouldn't say stuck, but they might not want to play something that
absolutely. So you performed in front of thousands and thousands of people in your life. What is the coolest thing a fan has ever said to you?
The coolest thing a fan has ever said to me. You know what? It's funny because I don't consider her a fan, but my cousin, I think I wouldn't say, I think it's just a good thing. It made me feel good. My cousin, I hadn't actually talked to in a long time, sent me a text message. This was actually, maybe it's cool to send me a text message. He said, well, I've been having to work a couple of days, and I didn't know what to do. I wasn't feeling good. And she said, I came home and I listened to, I took the day off and I listened to your lecture, back to back, and she said, I can't tell you how much better it made me feel listening to you. I can't tell you how much it feel me,
Yeah.
And that, I felt like that was like, man, like, I wanted to get in my car and drive down where she was in Hunter.
Yeah.
And, we talked later and she told me that she was going through it. It was pretty rough.
Yeah.
So I just felt like, man, if that's how my music is affecting people, that's what I want.
Yeah.
So it makes me feel good that, my music helps her in that way.
Yeah, absolutely. What is the key to you being, when you wake up in the morning, what inspires you to want to make music and make it the way you do?
I think this life, being thankful that you have another day and just having this life experience, inspires me. One thing that, where hands go best, because every day is a blessing,
Yeah.
Just to be able to wake up every day and do, do whatever, you want to do. It's really, like, you really take that for granted, sometimes. So I think about that every day, I think about that every day that, we never know how long we're going to be on this planet. None of us, And I think it's important to take advantage of life. You take advantage of the things that you want to do in life, and also to live, it's one thing to take advantage of life, meaning, go to work every day and make sure your bills are paid, but it's also a thing making sure you're happy. That's something I try to do as much as I can, making sure that I put myself in situations where I'm happy and I can stay happy. And that inspires me to write.
Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly.
So, speaking of inspiration, what is next for you in your career? What's coming up?
Well, I'm going to release, I'm actually getting ready to release the duo recording that I did with Ben Williams. Hopefully that'll be out probably within a month or so.
Cool.
And after that, I'm not sure. I'm probably going to go into a studio, if not this winter, sometime next year, to record my next recording. I'm not. It's just a few things, different things I want to do. I'm not going to say who they are yet.
Yeah.
But it's things that I have ideas now, and I'm really not sure exactly which way, which direction I want to head in. But
see out here. My final question I have for you: when you're an old man and you lean back and you think about your life and jazz and the impact that you've made on this world, how do you want everybody to remember you in the annals of jazz history?
I don't want everyone to remember. That's not something I don't think about that at all. You know, I just hope that now that my music, you know, touches people and inspires people to enjoy their life. And I just want my music to make a difference.
Yeah.
You know, it's like it made a difference in my cousin's life. You know, I think that's all I can really ask for. So that my music can help people and bring people together. You know, I think that's what I want. And if someone, you know, maybe if anything, remember someone that just loves music and love life.
Right on. Well said. Well said. Thank you very much, man. I love your music. I'm thrilled that you took the time out to talk with me today. And, man, keep on keeping on. It's great stuff, man.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening and tuning in to yet another Neon Jazz interview, where we give you a bit of insight into the finest players in New York, Kansas City, and spots all over America, giving fans all that jazz. And thanks to Mr. Jaleel Shaw for his insight and stories. If you want to hear more interviews, go to Famous Interviews with Joe Domino on the iTunes Store or visit theneonjazz.blogspot.com for all things neon jazz. Until next time, enjoy the music, my friends.
Neon Jazz.